Good afternoon. Welcome to the working out of problem 6.16. Take a look at a couple things. I've got my free body diagram up there. It's missing a couple measurements though, so let me go ahead and put those up there. The horizontal distance between C and B is 6 meters, I believe. No, 6 feet. From A to H is 6 feet. H to F is 6 feet. From the longest horizontal member down to the bottom, 9 feet. From the top horizontal to the bottom horizontal, 3 feet. And I think that's it. All right, before we get started, I want to point something out. So we're going to start the normal way, of course. We're going to look for the reactions to the supports. The supports were at point A and point H. Very quickly, I want to take a look at HX right here. If before we even start, if I want to look at pen at H, if we're doing an equilibrium real quick at H, it would look like this. So that's the free body diagram at H. Notice that HX is the only force in the X directions. So HX would actually be equal to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and indicate that on our picture. Might make it a little bit easier for us down the road. I don't know. But I noticed that when I was drawing the free body diagram, I'm like, wait a minute, that's going to end up being 0. So HX is equal to 0. Okay. All right. All right. So let's see. Let's take a look at summation of the forces in the X direction. In the X direction, we've got the 3 kip force at point D. Coming around, the next one we have is AX. And I've got AX in the negative direction. Solving for AX, we get the AX is equal to 3 kips, which is an indication that I have assumed the direction correctly. So 3 kips. Looking at the summation of the Y direction, we've got 2 unknowns. We've got AY and HY, so I'm going to skip the Y direction for right now. I'm going to take a moment about point A. And I'm going to work in, start at point C. We've got 5 kip force, which is 6 feet from A. We've got that 3 kip force up at D, which is 12 feet from A. The 10 kip force at D is directed through the line of action through A, so that's distance would be 0. With 10 kip at point E, however, with a distance of 6 feet away, we've got the 5 kip at F. I think that one's 12 feet away. And then finally, we've got a good old friend of mine, HY, which is 6 feet away. Summation is equal to 0. Let's grab the directions real quick. The 5 kip force at C is a counterclockwise direction, rotation, so positive. The 3 kip at D causes clockwise, which is negative. 10 kip at E, clockwise, negative. The 5 kip at F, clockwise, negative. And HY causes a positive. If we do the arithmetic, we end up with negative 126 kip feet plus 6hy equals 0. Add 126 to both sides and divide by 6. We get the hy is equal to 126 divided by 6 kips, which is 21. Let me fill that in. 21 kips. Summation of forces in the y direction. I'm going to start at, let's see, so we've got ay minus 5 kips, minus 10 kips, minus 10 kips, minus 5 kips, plus 21 kips equals 0. -5, -15, -25, -30, -30 plus 21 is -9. Ay minus 9 kips equals 0. Therefore, ay is equal to 9 kips. Positive means I have the correct guess on the direction at ay, 9 kips. Before we go, yep, so let's pause right here so I can erase the middle so we can begin our journey. Be right back. All right, welcome back. Thank you for your patience while I erased. I want to talk about a couple things before we start doing calculations. The first one is, unlike the previous problem, this one is not symmetrical. Right, so we've got the 3 kip force over here at D. There's no corresponding 3 kips force over at E. We've got a diagonal from DG, not one from BE. We've got a diagonal from AG, not one from HB. So there's no symmetry here. So we're going to be stuck. My guess is calculating all 12 of the members. There are probably some angles that we need. So how do I want to go about this? All right, so let's do some calculations so we can get all the angles kind of out of the way. Let us agree that all the purple angles are going to be the same. All right, so this angle here is the arctangent of 3/6. This angle here is the arctangent of 3/6. This angle, arctangent of 3/6. This angle, arctangent of 3/6. So I'll just write up here. Purple angles are arctangent 3/6, which every time I've done it today, it's come out to be 26.57 degrees. Okay. So all the little purple dots. That means all the purple X's, or I'll do asterisks. All the purple asterisks would be 90 minus 26.57. Which should be 63.43 degrees. Okay. All right. The orange angle. Orange angle is the arctangent of 6 divided by 9. So the arctangent of 6 divided by 9 is 33.69. And we'll do an asterisk up here for that one. And that of course is going to be 90 minus 33.69 degrees, which is it 56.31? Yep. 56.31 degrees. Okay. That might save us a little time as we move through the problem. All right. So the method is the method of joints. So we need to find a starting point, and we need to find a joint that only has two unknowns. I'm going to start at point C. Okay. I'm going to start at point C. Point C has member CD, member BC, and members the 5 kipper. So that's BC, that's CD. CD is diagonal, so it's got an X and a Y component. Let me grab that. This is CD. Y will be up. X will be positive. This angle here is 63.43 degrees. That comes from the complement of the 26.57 right here. So, okay. CD cosine 63.43. CD sine 63.43. So let's see what we've got going on here. Let's just start with summation of the y direction. Summation of the forces in the y direction. -5 kips plus CD cosine 63.43 equal to 0. Solving for CD, we get CD is equal to 11.18 kips. Let me go ahead and grab that or record it over here in our scorecard, our problem statement. And the fact that that came out to be positive means I have the correct guess on the direction of CD. The reaction at CD is pulling away from the pin because the member is in tension. Okay, summation of forces in the x direction. So we've got, what we've got? Negative BC plus CD sine 63.43 is equal to 0. We know CD, negative BC plus 11.18 kips times the sine of 63.43 equal to 0. Solving for BC, we get that BC is equal to 10 kips. 10 kips came out as a positive number, which only indicates that I have the direction of BC guessed in correctly. So 10 kips in compression, it's in compression. The reaction is toward the pin, which would be opposite to the member, going in toward the member, compressing the member. So we'll pause right here while I get the board ready for our next point. Thank you for your patience. I skipped over to point F. I needed a point that only had 2 unknowns. Point F was the next one that I saw. Kind of worked my way around. D had 3 unknowns. E's got 3 unknowns. Worked my way around, got to F. EF, remember EF is at a diagonal. Let's see, so if I have EF going up, EFY is going to be up and EFX will be to the negative direction. This angle is 63.43 degrees. That's EF. That makes that EF cosine 63.43. And EF sine 63.43. Again, the 63.43 comes from the complement of the purple dot angle. Summation of force in the y direction. Let's do it. -5 kips plus EF cosine 6343 degrees equal to 0. Solving for EF, we get EF is equal to 11.18 kips. Go ahead and throw that over here. 11.18 kips. It came out to be a positive number, which indicates that I have the direction correct. You guessed. And summation of the forces in the x direction. We end up with, what do we get? We get negative FG. Oh, EF sine 6343 equal to 0. Well, we know what EF is. So I'll just substitute that value in here real quick. Solving for FG, we get that FG is equal to negative 10 kips. That negative doesn't mean the force is in the negative direction. It just means that I have got the arrow guessed in the wrong direction. So it should actually be that way, which would be in compression, by the way. So 10 kips. Oh, we didn't want that, did we? There we go. So 10 kips in compression. I'm gonna pause right here. Oh, let me mark it off here. I'm gonna pause right here and get our board set up for the next point. All right, welcome back. Got the working my way around. I just went up to E. Notice that E now only has 2 unknowns, ED and EG. So we'll just thought we'd go ahead and take care of that while we're there. I've got the free body diagram written. We know that EF has a diagonal force. So we need to come up with the X and Y components for that force. And we just calculated that as 11.18 kips. Thought we did a good job on that. That says kips, by the way. This angle, 26.57 degrees. 11.18 cosine 26.57, 11.18 sine 26.57. And now we do some arithmetic. So what do we got going on? We've got summation of forces in the x direction. So we've got negative ED plus 11.18 cosine 26.57 degrees is equal to 0 since it's in equilibrium. Solving for ED. Therefore, ED is equal to 10 kips. And it's a positive number. That means that I have ED shown in the correct direction. And that indicates tension. Summation of forces in the y direction. We've got negative 10 kips. We've got negative 11.18, the sine of 26.57 degrees. And we've got positive EG is equal to 0. Solving for EG. Therefore, EG is equal to, I think that comes out to be 15 kips. It's a positive number indicating that I have the direction correct. The direction is going into the pin. That's a reaction to the fact that the member is in compression. 15 kips compression. Oh, we'll pause here for a minute while I get the board cleaned up for our next part of our adventure. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Rolling through what we've got going on here. I checked off the last two that we got. B still has 3 unknowns. G has 1, 2, 3, 4 unknowns. A has 2 unknowns, AB and AG. So I've got this set up free body diagram for that. AG is at a diagonal, which of course means we need to grab the X and Y components. This angle is 56.31 degrees. So AG, that's a orange asterisk. We got that one, 56.31. That means that the X component is AG cosine 56.31. Y component is AG sine 56.31. And we are ready to begin. Let's look at, how about summation of forces in X direction? There's only 2 of them. Minus 3 kips plus AG cosine 56.31. That sum is equal to 0. Solving for AG, add 3 to both sides, divide both sides by cosine 56.31. We end up with AG is equal to 5.408. I think it's a 3. Can't read my own writing today. Positive number indicating that I have the direction correct. So this AG is in tension. 5.41. So 5.41 kips in tension. Summation of the forces in the Y direction. We've got a couple of them. We've got negative AB. We've got positive 9 kips. And we've got positive, so AG times the sine of 56.31, which would be 5.41 times the sine of 56.31 equal to 0. Solving for AB, so adding 9 plus 5.41 times sine of 56.31 and subtracting that, we end up with AB is equal to 13.5 kips. 13.5 kips. Let me grab that real quick. 13.5 kips. And now that came out to be a positive number, which indicates that I have the guess correctly in the direction. That indicating going into the pin that the member is in compression. And we'll go ahead and mark those 2 off. We got that one and that one. I'm going to pause from right here so that I can get the board ready for our next joint. And welcome back. Thanks for your patience. Taking a look at what we have left, I noticed that H only has 1 unknown. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. Summation of the forces in the Y direction, negative HG plus 21 kips is equal to 0. Add HG to both sides, we get that HG is equal to 21 kips, and that's going to be in compression. 21 kips compression. That was a quick one. Hopefully it'll be quick to erase so we can do something much more exciting. Be right back. That was a quick one to erase, and look what I found for us. I mean, I'm looking at point B right here, and there's only 2 unknowns. Quickly did a free body diagram, and we can see by inspection this time that without any arithmetic, that BG is equal to 10 kips, right? 10 kips minus BG is equal to 0. BG is equal to 10. And looking at the Y direction, if 13.5 kips is going up and BD is the only other force going in the Y direction, then we can say that BD is equal to 13.5 kips. Both come out to be positive numbers, which is an indication that I have them in the correct, the arrows in the correct direction. So we could say that BG is 10 kips compression, and BD is 13.5 kips, also in compression. I'm going to erase for our last calculation. I think we only have one pin left to visit or one pin that we need to visit. While I pause and erase, take a big guess of what pin we're going to be looking at when we come back. All right, welcome back. My guess is that you guessed correctly that we're going to be at point G. It's the only one that, well, I mean, we could have went to point D. Good point there. Very good point. We could have went to point D. We had to pick one of the points that had member DG going through it. I just picked G. I'm not even too sure why. I've got the free body diagram set up. We just need to get the X and Y components figured out for our two forces that are diagonal. This is 26.57. DG, that's a purple. I'm gonna redraw my picture. I worked it with the picture looking a little bit different. I still had DG going up, of course. I just had mine like this. Probably get the same answer. I don't want to deviate from what I've got written on my paper though, after working diligently on it all day today. There we go. All right. So this angle is 26.57, which is purple, from the purple dot. I'll show it to you in just a second. DG right here, purple dot we worked out is 26.57. X component DG cosine 26.57, and the Y component DG sine 26.57 degrees. I come down here, look at AG. I also need the X and Y component for it. That's some beautiful straight lines today. That's 5.41 kips. This is 56.31 degrees. So AG, that's orange asterisk. Orange asterisk 56.31. So that's 5.41 cosine 56.31 and 5.41 sine 56.31 degrees. All right, I'm ready. Let's take a look at the summation of the forces in the X direction. I've got 10 kips minus DG cosine 26.57 minus 10 kips minus 5.41 cosine 56.31, which is equal to 0. Combine these terms, they're alike, they're all numbers. And we end up with negative 3 kips minus DG cosine 26.57 equal to 0. Solving for DG, we get that DG is equal to negative 3.36 kips. That negative is an indication that I have assumed the incorrect direction for the reaction of member DG. So apologize for that. That's easy enough to take care of though. Telling us that oops, that is an arrow. That's not what I wanted. I need the cool writing stamp. There we go. 3.36 kips, and we'll be in compression. So I hope you found the video helpful. Please leave a comment. Let me know how things are going. See you in a little while. Bye-bye.